So over the last few months, Sennheiser has been very busy. First, they revamped their whole truly wireless earbud lineup, and personally, I absolutely love both the CX Plus and the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 3s. Plus, we now know that the Sennheiser Momentum 4 headphones are right around the corner. But today we are going to check out Sennheiser's first pair of truly wireless earbuds meant for working out, the Sennheiser Sport, or at least that's what I call them, because the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless just doesn't ring. Now, regarding pricing, the Sennheiser Sport retail for $130, and basically the Sport are a rebadged version of the entry-level Sennheiser CXs, which also retail for $130, but these have a smaller case. But for comparison's sake, there are the CX Plus, which retail for $180, and then there are the Momentum 3s, which retail for $250. Nonetheless, if you want to pick any of these earbuds up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch shelf down below. I've made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I can be very particular. So I'll only set my name on something that I'm really proud of. Now first, let's talk about this case. At first glance, the Sennheiser Sport have the same case as Sennheiser's other CX earbuds. Except this case is a little thicker so that it can accommodate those earphones. But it also has an optional wrist strap and there's a cover for its USB-C ports. Overall, I would say that this case is in the same league as the Momentum 3's case, as in it's decently sized so you can daily drive these earbuds, but this case is going to be rather noticeable when it's in your pocket. But besides that, the case on the Sennheiser Sport have an all-plastic body that isn't too slippery, so handling this case isn't hard. The lid opens and closes very easily, and the magnets in this case are decently strong, so taking your earbuds out and putting them back in is super easy. But unfortunately, this case does not have wireless charging. Right now, wireless charging is reserved for the Momentum 3s. Now, when it comes to battery life, the Sennheiser Sport have a decent battery life relative to their overall size. Now, the Sennheiser Sport have an advertised combined battery life of 27 hours. The earbuds themselves can go for 9 straight hours, which is good if you're a marathon runner, and is also good for retail workers. And the case itself can supply 2 additional full charges, and the base CXs also have the same battery life performance. And I say that the Sennheiser Sport have a decent battery life relative to their case size, because this case is rather large when compared to other earbuds out there, but nonetheless, the battery life on the Sennheiser Sport is decent. However, something that Sennheiser does need to work on all of their earbuds is their fast charging. If you were to drop these earbuds into their case with a dead battery, a 10-minute charge is only going to get you 1 hour of playback time, which is pretty weak. But now let's talk about the earbuds themselves. The sculpt of the Sennheiser Sport is the same as the base CXs, except these earbuds have optional earphones that are going to help with lockdown. Whereas the sculpt of the earbuds on the CX Plus are a little smaller, and the Momentum 3s are even smaller still. But still, all of these earbuds fit like your standard pair of in-ear earbuds, as in they go into your canals a decent amount. These aren't shallow fitting in-ear earbuds like, let's say, the AirPods Pro, Jabra Elite 85Ts, Beats Studio Buds, or Beats Fit Pro, which do feel less intrusive. However, Sennheiser's standard fitting in-ear earbuds do help with lockdown. But the Sennheiser Sport offer the most amount of lockdown here thanks to their optional earphones. Now, these earphones are relatively stiff, and unlike the earphones on the Beats Fit Pro, which are one size fits all, these earphones are customizable. Now, the Momentum 3s also have earphones, and this is a new feature compared to the Momentum 2s. But even though the Momentum 3s do have earphones, their largest earphones aren't as large as any of Sennheiser Sport's earphones. So if you're looking for a pair of workout earbuds, then the Sennheiser Sport are a good option because their earphones are going to offer way more lockdown. Because even though Sennheiser's earbuds fit well, they can still wiggle out, especially if you're moving a lot. But I also have to address the two different types of ear tips that come included with these earbuds. Now, the Sport come included with a set of open ear tips, and they also come included with a set of closed ear tips. Now, all of these ear tips are made out of silicone, whereas there are plenty of other workout earbuds out there that will come included with a set of silicone ear tips and a set of foam ear tips. But all of their ear tips are closed. Whereas the open silicone ear tips on the Sport will let in ambient noise even when you have them in. Now, this is Sennheiser's solution for these earbuds instead of just giving them a proper ambient mode like what's found on the CX Plus or Momentum 3s or like what's found on a lot of other workout earbuds out there. Now, this simple solution is good because it is going to save on battery life, and plus it's going to sound as natural as it can get. And if you're someone that likes to work out outside, maybe you like to do your cardio outdoors, then this is actually really nice. However, if you have your music turned up too loud, then it is going to be very hard to hear your surroundings versus just having a proper ambient mode, and there's going to be a lot of sound leakage as well. And unlike having a proper ambient mode where you can quickly go from letting in ambient noise to blocking out noise at the tap of a button, you're gonna have to switch out the ear tips every single time. Nonetheless, if you do decide to use the open ear tips on these earbuds, just remember to set them to aware, because then that way these earbuds will have a much warmer sound signature and a much more intense bass so that they'll sound more normal while you're using their open ear tips. Or if you want to use these earbuds while you're at the gym and you want to block out noise, then you'll want to use them with their closed ear tips, and then that way these earbuds will passively block out noise like a normal pair of in-ear earbuds. Just keep in mind that these earbuds do not have active noise cancellation, like let's say either the CX Plus or Momentum 3s. Now, when it comes to connectivity, each earbud establishes a connection with your phone. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one, it doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see from all our earbuds nowadays. And thankfully, Sennheiser has now implemented this across the board on all of their earbuds. But ultimately, the Sennheiser Sport are better used with just one primary device. Unlike with other earbuds out there that can be simultaneously connected to two devices at the same time, or other earbuds that can hot swap between devices in their respective ecosystems, or other earbuds that will jump from one device to another if another device asks to pair with them. Instead, with the Sennheiser Sport, if you want to switch devices, you either got to do that through their app or you got to place them into pairing mode every single time. So ultimately, the Sennheiser Sports aren't the most power user-friendly earbuds out there. But when it comes to overall performance, these earbuds have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Edge device. And when it comes to audio codecs, the Sennheiser Sport have support for SPC, AAC, and aptX, just like with the base CXs. But for comparison's sake, Sennheiser's more premium earbuds, like the CX Plus and Momentum 3s, they have support for SPC, AAC, aptX, and aptX Adaptive. But just keep in mind, if you want to take advantage of aptX, you do have to be an Android user because iPhones top out at AAC. But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds. Now, if you want the best sound quality out of these earbuds, then you want to use them with their closed ear tips, because with the closed ear tips, they're going to passively block out noise. But overall, the Sennheiser Sport sound the same as the base CXs, the CX Plus, and Momentum 3s, and that's not a bad thing at all. Just as you'd expect, these earbuds have great instrument separation, so they sound very open. And with Sennheiser's stock EQ, these earbuds sound very balanced, versus Sennheiser's last generation of earbuds, which did skew towards a brighter sound signature. But the thing that really makes these Sennheiser earbuds stand out is their bass. The bass on all of Sennheiser's earbuds resonates very deep, and it also has a very nice punch to it. So if you're someone that likes a lot of bass in their music, then Sennheiser's earbuds will be able to deliver. And surprisingly, Sennheiser's earbuds have more bass than, let's say, the Beats Fit Pro or Beats Studio Buds, which are known to have a lot of bass. However, if you don't like a lot of bass in your music and if you want a more neutral EQ, then Sennheiser's earbuds will also be able to deliver because you can always just adjust their EQ to your liking. And this app works on both iPhone and Android. But overall, for me, Sennheiser's entire lineup of earbuds that are using their 7mm true response transducers are just my preferred sounding earbuds. There's just something about their openness and hard-hitting clean bass that makes all of these earbuds outperform most other earbuds when it comes to sound. Now, when it comes to the media controls, just like Sennheiser's other earbuds, the Sport are using touchpads, and these are strictly tap-based touchpads, as in there are no swiping gestures. Overall, these touchpads are very accurate and they're easy enough to use, and through Sennheiser's app, you can go in and customize the layout of these touchpads. But the important thing is that you have full media controls and you can also adjust the volume directly from the earbuds themselves. But do keep in mind, these earbuds do not have wear sensors, just like with the Beats CXs. So they are not going to automatically play or pause your music if you take them out of your ears or put them back in. And personally for me, this is a major inconvenience, but obviously it is a cost-cutting measure. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, overall, the Sennheiser Sport have a usable microphone while in a quiet room. This microphone is doing a good job of picking up my voice, and it does have a brighter sound signature to it. But for comparison's sake, the Sennheiser Momentum 3s do have better clarity to them. Albeit, all of Sennheiser's earbuds do have a noticeable amount of humming in the background. But the Momentum 3s do a much better job of dealing with noise pollution, because right now these earbuds are blocking out a good amount of road noise. Because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Momentum 3s, it is reduced. Whereas the Sport True Wireless aren't blocking out all of that much road noise. And the same thing can be said when it comes to blocking out chatter. These earbuds just aren't really blocking out any noise pollution here. Whereas with the Momentum 3s, these are doing a decent job of blocking out this chatter, and they're also doing a really good job of elevating my voice. But again, for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this chatter. But if we were to switch back over to the Momentum 3s, it is reduced. So overall, I would only try to take phone calls with the Sennheiser Sport while in a quieter environment, and those phone calls better be short. But with all that being said, the Sennheiser Sport Wireless are a solid pair of workout earbuds that are going to bring you amazing Sennheiser sound quality while you work out. Thanks to the earphones on these earbuds, the Sennheiser Sport will stay in place no matter how hard you're working out. Plus, these earbuds have decent battery life to carry you through multiple workout sessions. Now, even though I do like these earbuds, you are missing some features that you would find if you were to look at more expensive earbuds out there. Like, for example, active noise cancellation, a proper ambient mode, proximity sensors, and perhaps even wireless charging. But regardless, the Sennheiser Sport deliver amazing sound quality that will be able to please everyone, and personally, I think the optional open ear tips on these earbuds could be great for people who like to work out outdoors. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.